Oh my God, is it fast. And we are in a convertible here, so you know it's already no shoes.
Driving through the canyons has been, that was a really amazing experience.
Yeah, we'll do one final send for y'all. Welcome to Downshift. My name is Matt, and this is Marty, the M4 competition convertible that we've been living with for the past 10 days as we tour from Universal Studios and Harry Potter World, up through the canyons around LA, driving at max attack, and then up to the mountains of Sequoia and through Yosemite and all the way back down to LA. So thank you again to BMW USA, thank you to Jeff, and thank you to BMW EYEWEAR for making sure we look as LA and cool as possible this entire trip. But today we're going to talk about all the coolest and most interesting things that we've seen with Marty over this 10-day tour. First thing to address, what is this thing? This is an M4, which means it's the coupe version of the M3. And this also is the competition, which means it's the most performance-oriented, the max attack version. This also is the Cabriolet, which means, as you can see, it has no roof, and it also is equipped with xDrive, which is something you can't get on the base. So then what is the competition package? Well, the competition package gets you only the ZF 8-speed automatic transmission, no more 6-speed manual like we had in the M2. And it also means you get the option, you don't have to have it, but you get the option for xDrive all-wheel drive. That is what you get in your competition package. And of course you get more power, which we'll talk about now. And power is boosted from the same engine. This is still the S58 that you would get in the base, 3-liter twin turbo straight 6, but your horsepower is up 30 horsepower to 503 horsepower, and your torque is up 75 pound-feet to 479 pound-feet total. That's a huge difference. A lot of this is due to a retune and added boost pressure that you get in the competition here. And if you care about this sort of thing, your fuel economy is also affected. You get 18 mpg combined in your comp. I've been averaging better than that, about 20 total. And your non-comps, your base versions with less power, get about 19 rating, so maybe 21. And then I want to talk about the spec real quick. We're in LA, and this is a very LA spec. For the paint, you've got Daytona Beach Blue, which looks spectacular. It's almost $4,000, but to me, totally worth it. But here's the interesting thing. They do have an interior that more matches the Daytona blue, but we've gone with the Fjord Blue and Black Merino leather, even with the competition carbon bucket seats. This is about a $2,500 option, and the seats themselves, the carbons, are about $4,500. Interesting to have mismatching blues, a darker blue for your interior and a lighter, louder electric blue for your exterior. But either way, make sure that you get some BMW EYEWEAR, because you're going to want to make sure that you look as good as possible and match your car when you're driving around with the top down in LA. Now, I've teamed up with BMW Motorsport and BMW EYEWEAR, who are sponsoring the channel for this video, so I can show you guys some of the awesome sunglasses you can get to match your car and display your status as a passionate member of the BMW enthusiast community. The styles themselves have a little something for everyone, like the clean and classic blue lensed aviator with the white stock for the traditional E30 enthusiast like myself, to the more modern lightweight performance Wayfarer style for the X5M driver. And depending on what style you get, you'll get cool little details like M color matched lenses, an M tricolor soft pouch for carrying. And each one comes with a little envelope containing a holographic sticker proving the official authenticity. And the thing I love is not only are the styles really cool, but when you buy your first pair, you'll earn KOHLS cash to then buy your second, third, and 17th pair. So you can keep collecting, just like you probably want to collect experiences like this M4. And you'll look really cool as well. Check it out, link in the description, loads of styles, something for everybody. But then less specifically on the spec and more about the looks as a whole. Now obviously your Daytona Beach Blue is wild, but your grille is also pretty wild. This is something that got a lot of attention when it came out, but to be honest, it kind of is growing on me. Now, around the sides here, you do get BMW laser lights, which is great. You can tell they've got the blue in them, but they're also Shadowline lights, which is an extra $300, and it kind of darkens the headlight casing. Pretty cool. You've also got the carbon fiber exterior package, which gets you carbon down here and on your wing mirrors and your entire rear diffuser, which is pretty cool. Your carbon fiber exterior package is $4,500, so make sure that's worth it to you. I might personally skip it, but it still looks pretty cool. And then in terms of your wheels, these are pretty familiar competition wheels. They're 19s in the front and 20s in the back. So a staggered setup exactly like we had in the M2. But you see what's peeking out from behind? Super cool gold brake calipers with M logos, and you can tell carbon ceramics in there. It's an $8,500 option for these carbon ceramics, but to be honest, doing these mountains and the canyons in LA, I've really enjoyed knowing that I've got all the stopping power and all the cooling that I need. And then of course you got your anniversary roundels, which I'm a huge fan of. And interestingly here on this M4, they're free, versus on the M2, they were an extra $200. You've got them all over the place. And of course, classic M quad tips. Sound pretty decent too. And we did it with the M2, we'll do it with the M4. We're counting M logos. 1, on your engine cover. We'll close that up. 2, we've got M4 competition in the grille. Around the side, all of your wheels have the center cap little M, so that's 4 more, so that's 6. And then we've got M on your brake calipers on all of them, even the smaller rears. So that's another 4, so that's 10. We do have the front fender badge and Grille, non-functional, but still looks pretty cool. So that's 12, 13, obviously, 14, and we're gonna have 15 over on that side, 16 on the wheel, 17, you might miss it if you weren't looking, 18 embossed, very subtle, and then 19 and 20. Those are all the M logos. But it's not just M logos, it's the tricolor. You've got your anniversary roundel on the hood with the tricolor, on each of the wheel center caps, and the rear, obviously. And then the rear badge, tricolor again. Then as we get to the interior, we'll open her up. We've got it on each of the seat belts, even in the rear. Excellent attention to detail. Interior rimming on your steering wheel, very nice. And even stitching on your shifter. But obviously the big story here is this is the convertible. So let's get in and time how long it takes to put the top up. So while CarPlay connected, the camera cut out, we're gonna try it one more time. 1, 2, 3, putting all the windows down. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. About 13 seconds. So a couple seconds longer than it took in the Z4, but I guess there's more roof, so maybe that makes sense. Now this being the convertible, you probably think, oh, it's not practical. Well, again, I've brought all my camera gear, all my hiking stuff, and all of my stuff and my wife's stuff for 10 days that we've had this car, that we're touring California. So camera gear and hiking gear go in the trunk. And then suitcases go upside down in the back seat. Is it the most practical car? Maybe not. But did it work? Yeah. Dirt. Voila. And you can see, I've got all my film stuff in here. If I wanted to, I put this up. That's a little partition. You can only have that up with the roof up. With the roof down, that comes down. But you have a very deep trunk. It goes way far back. And you can even fold the seats to even have some more space. It's really pretty practical, I gotta say. It's really not bad. But let's check the rear seats. And I'll lay over a clip of me in the back seats. It is very, very, very similar to the M2, which is a pro or a con depending on how you look at it. It's a pro in the idea that you can fit a 6-foot person back here. Not super comfortable for long periods of time, but you could do it. It's a con in the sense that the smaller M2 has about the same size back seat. And we touched on it before, but I just want to spend a little bit more time talking about these seats. These are the Fjord Blue and Black Merino leather carbon buckets. They still get the M logos that light up, which is awesome. They're still heated, which is very great. You've also still got bolstering down here, which is really cool. And you still get M seat belts with the tricolor. It's not just the seats that are carbon. You get the carbon interior package, so your dash, carbon. Your entire center console, hiding your wireless charger and your cup holders, carbon. And your steering wheel, carbon. Very similar to what we've seen in the M2. Difference being here, this is $950, where in the M2 it was $800. So an extra $150 for the big boy 4. This also has the Driver Assist Pro package, which is $1,700, but it's very, very good. It's not as in-depth as the i7 that we had, that'll completely let you drive hands-free on the highway for seemingly forever. You do kind of have to rest your hand on the wheel, squeeze it, flick it, but it does a very good job, a surprisingly good job at reading the lane lines, keeping you centered, and slowing and speeding up with traffic. And now I want to talk about this shifter because all competitions get the ZF 8-speed automatic transmission that we have here. It's a great gearbox, to be honest though. Do I miss the manual? Maybe a little bit. If I wanted it, I could go to a base car, but on this comp here, it's fantastic. It's tricolor stitched. It has 3 levels of ferocities with these little teeth here. And if this weren't a convertible and it were the coupe, this would be empty here and you'd have M4 competition placard right there. But since it's the convertible, we have our toperation controls right there. Still very, very cool. M embossments on the top as well. And then I do want to talk about tech because I've mentioned it a couple times here. This does not get the iDrive 8 system that you get in the M2 that we had or the M3 for 2023. You still are on the older system, but to be honest, it's still perfectly good. You've got wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You've got this wireless charger down here. Weirdly, this is an a la carte option. It's a $500 option. I kind of thought maybe this would either be standard or lumped in with like the executive package or something like that, but it's still pretty good. You throw it into reverse, you get excellent 360 cameras as you're used to. You've got your 3D view so you can flip all the way around the car. It's also nice, it tracks whether or not you have your roof up. Very cool. It also does that in your center display, but very cool. You can flip around the car and everything. You've got your backup assistant or your breadcrumb, so the car will automatically remember how you drove in someplace and then back out exactly how you came in, which is really nice if you're in like a weirdly tight spot. But another thing is you can totally program, you can go into M mode and select between your road and sport settings. Of course, it adjusts your gauge cluster. Interestingly, if you set your M1, I've got it to max chill, so it's like low ferocity, efficient on the engine, blah, blah, blah. But then M2, if I press, now it's like max attack with stability still on. It keeps the cluster how it is. If I want it to be the M cluster, I could probably change this in the setting, but I do have to go into sport here. So that is interesting. You've also got custom setup if you want to control how you want your M1 and 2 buttons to be. So that's been really nice. You've got loads of customizability in here. And then I want to talk about, I guess, what I would call kind of the least necessary package. It's the executive package. It's $1,300. It does get you remote start, which I guess is nice. And you also get a heated steering wheel. But for those two things to be $1,300, personally, I might skip it, save the money. And the last thing, as usual, is price. Now, M4 competition convertibles start at $90,000, which is exactly where 2023 C63 convertibles start. That's with the V8, importantly, as they go into 24 with the 4-cylinder and the turbo and blah, blah, blah. It's gonna be way more expensive, but this one has pretty much every box ticked, and it comes in at an as-tested price of $125,000. And if you're wondering about Audi's RS5, you can't even get a convertible RS5, at least not according to their website this year. So those are the 17 coolest and most interesting things about Marty, the M4 competition convertible. It's been a fantastic partner through this entire 10-day tour. So thank you to Jeff, thank you to BMW USA, and thank you again to BMW EYEWEAR. Be sure that you check out the description below because you'll be able to get some cool specs to match your car. We'll see you in the next one. So pretty. Sun coming down. Whoa. What a day it's been. We catch them pretty quick on the straights. Grip, 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 grip.
Are you saying that because you feel it? Or,
Yeah.
Or you're wanting
Or you're hoping that I have it?
Yeah.
No, I feel it.
Which one?
I feel it, but that's a good thing. That's a good thing to clarify. Ooh.
I felt the grip there.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Wow. Oh yeah, you got it.
Not a question. Wow. Oh my God. Bliss.